What's up, y'all? Coach Joe here. Just getting a little bit of fresh air, sunshine this afternoon, and I wanted to hop on here and talk to you quickly about maintenance phases. So, if you remember, maybe you're new to this, but I just finished up a 12-week cut looking to drop 20 pounds, so I hit my goal, which is awesome. And I'm sure some of you out there have tried to diet down before. Maybe you've done it beyond 12 weeks. Maybe you've just kind of tried to diet down indefinitely and had success. Maybe you didn't. Or if you have had success, you've finished that time and then maybe yo-yoed back up, right, pretty rapidly, almost probably back to your beginning weight or even beyond where you were. So what I want to talk to you about today is how do you stop that from happening? So when you finish a diet, what's the next step? What's the next thing you should be doing? And that thing is called a maintenance phase, okay? So you finished your dieting phase or you're dropping weight, and now we want to move into a maintenance phase. And what's up, Shiraz? Shiraz joining us. Hopefully you can hear me okay. But yeah, so what'll happen is you'll finish dieting down, right? Your body's gone through all this change for quite a bit of time, right? Hopefully not much longer than 10 or 12 weeks, right? So you're not going too far into it, which I'll get to in a little bit. And then what you want to do is take a period of time where you just stabilize, okay? So let's say for me, I went from about 280 to about 260. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and hover at 260 the best I can. All right, now there's a little bit of a window, right? You might go up a pound to 3 or 4 and then back down somewhere in there. But you want to try and stay in that range the best you can. The reason being, or reasons being, is one, you just put your body through a whole lot, right? So you want to give it a chance to stabilize again, and really kind of understand, let your body understand, like, hey, we're okay now, right? It's okay to have a little bit more food, and I'm not going to be, starving myself or anything like that for a whole lot longer. The other thing is, too, is you want to resensitize your body to change. So if I diet indefinitely, let's say for a year, right, or let's say extreme case, like I try to do it for multiple years in a row, your body's just kind of going into that survival mode that you kind of hear about, right, where it's like, hey, I don't want to lose weight, I don't know what's happening to me. But if you do it in more of a smaller chunk of time, let's say 2-3 months, right, give your body a chance to stabilize, you can actually hit a diet again and have just as good results because you've resensitized yourself to that change. So for me, I finished cutting down, right? I'm going to spend some time maintaining and resensitizing myself. And you can actually run this anywhere from, I would say, no shorter than like 4 weeks. But you can actually maintain your weight indefinitely, right? You might have a family member or a friend who, they say, oh yeah, in the winter I come up about 5 pounds and the summer I come down about 5 pounds, but I always kind of hover the same way. You can keep your weight the same forever if you really wanted to. But that's not my goal. My goal, probably after this, I might even cut down again just a little bit, maybe go from 260-ish to maybe like, 250, 245, somewhere in there. And then I'll maintain again and then go on to the next thing, right? So for me, I try to look at the whole year and what my plan is. So I just cut down. I'll maintain probably through, it's the end of July now. I'll probably maintain through at least August, maybe cut down September, October, maintain through November, December, and then into the new year, maybe start coming back up again and put some good weight on, okay? So if you have been dieting for quite some time now, I would encourage you to take a break. Even if you try to gain weight or lose weight, take a break, let your body resensitize to that change, right? And then run your next phase after that. And like I said, resensitization only takes about 4 weeks or so to really kind of get yourself stable again, and then you can just hop right back into it with whatever you're going to do. So also too, on top of that, now that I'm, talking with you about it, is it's also a break like mentally, right? If you're just kind of running down your food forever and ever and ever, right? After a certain point, you kind of start to lose your sanity a little bit. The maintenance phase allows you to kind of put some more calories back into your diet. Or if you're someone like myself in the past where I've like intentionally tried to gain weight, like for strongman, that kind of stuff, it's nice to not have to feel like you got to eat every 2.5 hours, every 3 hours. You can kind of take a little break, get back to a baseline, and then hit it again. So just to kind of summarize, if you've been dieting for a while or you're currently dieting now, don't run that. If you're gaining weight or losing weight, don't run that for any longer than 10 or 12 weeks. And the reason being is we kind of start, if let's say you're trying to lose weight, After that period of time, we'll start to kind of dip into muscle tissue, which we don't want to do, right? We don't want to burn that up. And if we're trying to put weight on, after about 12 weeks or so, you start to put on appreciable amounts of fat, which we also don't want to do. So 10 or 12 weeks, hit a maintenance phase for at least 4 weeks, but you can do it indefinitely, resensitize your body, let it get stable, and then move on to the next phase, whether it's losing weight or gaining weight. And you just kind of keep running these phases forever and ever and ever until you get to that body composition that you want to get to. Or if you compete in a weight class, you get to that weight class you want to get to, and then you can just kind of hold your weight there and do your thing. Question for Shiraz, how many calories would you add back in the maintenance phase? That is a great question, Shiraz. So let's say you've been losing weight for a while and you want to maintain where you're at. If you're losing weight at like the suggested rate, which is about 1% of your body weight per week, so anywhere from, let's say, 1 to 2 pounds is probably reasonable for the average listener, and someone like yourself, right? Is you got to think about, okay, I've been losing weight all this time. When I start adding food back in, I don't want to go crazy with it. The amount that I would add back in is probably like maybe 250 to 500 calories per day. You figure 1 pound is 3,500 calories. 500 calories a day times 7 days is 1 pound a week. But I've been losing that 1 pound a week, right? So if I bring it back up that little bit, I'll stabilize. So kind of the math kind of works out that way. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you might add some calories back in, and you might actually come back up a little bit from where you ended, and then come back down. You're going to kind of hover back and forth. That's okay. As long as you kind of hover around that weight that you ended at, you're good. There's probably 3, maybe even 4 pound sort of give on either side, but I try to keep it as close to that weight as you can. So just a quick one today, guys. I hope that helped. If you have any more questions, comment below. I'll answer them for you, and have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.